On today's show, BMW and Ford both report weaker profits. Owners of the Mustang Shelby GT350 are suing Ford, and why foreign brands could be in trouble in China. All that and more coming right up on Autoline Daily. This is Autoline Daily, the show for enthusiasts of the automotive industry. BMW and Ford are spending heavily on electric cars, autonomy, and mobility, and both are at a trough in their product cycle, and that is translating into lower profit margins. Yesterday, Ford warned analysts that its profits will drop this year, though the company still expects to earn about $9 billion. BMW says its profits margins dropped to 8.9%, down from 9.2%. And here's the problem. Neither company has introduced very many new products in the last year and don't have much coming this year either. That's why we say they're in a trough in their product cycle. All the money they're spending on future technology should pay off someday. But the key to that statement is should and someday. The stock market doesn't like what it's hearing. Shares at both companies have dropped by more than 8.5% in the last week. A small group of owners are suing Ford, saying the Mustang Shelby GT350 is not as track ready as Ford says it is. They say their transmissions and differentials overheated while at the track, forcing the car into limp mode to prevent damage. These owners have the technology package, which along with the base GT350 did not come with the optional track packages, transmission, and differential coolers. They claim Ford knew there was a problem because the coolers are now standard on all models. Yesterday we asked you to identify this car, and coming up next, we'll give you the answer.
Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone Tires, your journey, our passion. Dow Automotive Systems, advanced materials that deliver better results. And by Lear, a global leader in automotive seating and electrical systems.
Toyota's fuel cell powered Mirai is good for the environment, so why shouldn't its advertising be just as good too? The automaker is putting up 37 billboards about the Mirai in LA and San Francisco. They are coated in titanium dioxide, which will convert NOx into a nitrate and remove it from the air as long as there's light, humidity, and air blowing on the signs. Toyota estimates the billboards will be able to reverse the equivalent of nearly 5,300 vehicles worth of NOx emissions per month. They will be up from April 3rd through May 28th. And by the way, automakers like Volvo, BMW, Daimler, Mitsubishi, and Audi do something similar with the radiators on their vehicles, and we'll have a report about that coming up on the show soon. Wow, we've got some really sharp viewers. Yesterday we asked you if you could identify this classic car we spotted on the streets of Santa Barbara, California. We thought this might stump you, but a number of you correctly guessed it's a Riley 1.5. Riley is a defunct British automaker that started out life as a bicycle company in the 1890s and stopped producing cars in 1969. But interestingly, the Riley trademark is owned by BMW. Maybe one day we could see the brand revived, but BMW has been sitting on the name for nearly 20 years, hasn't done anything with it yet. The Lincoln Continental is getting a head-up display. So what, you're saying? HUDs are nothing new, and even non-luxury cars have them. That's true, but the one in the Lincoln is the first to use digital light projection, or DLP technology. It makes the display more visible in sunlight, and even when the driver is wearing polarized sunglasses. And drivers can customize its position on the windshield, up and down or side to side, its brightness and what info they want displayed, all through the controls on the steering wheel. For now, the DLP technology is exclusive to Lincoln. Automakers in China sure look bullish. Ward's Auto reports that they built 2.1 million passenger cars and 2.2 million light trucks in just the first 2 months of the year. That's up more than 9% from a year ago, and it puts them on pace to build over 21 million vehicles this year. Now we'll just have to wait and see if sales match that production pace. And speaking of China, coming up next, a look at why foreign automakers could be in trouble there.
We set up an obstacle course to demonstrate Bridgestone's Blizzak WS80 tires.
Whoa!
Whoa!
The advanced engineering of our tires helps you stop safely on ice. In fact, they stop 33% faster than an all-season tire.
Wow. Yeah, we're not done yet.
China is by far and away the largest car market in the world. Global automakers currently dominate in sales, but Michael Dunn, an expert on the Chinese auto industry, says foreign brands are actually in a precarious position. He's our guest on Autoline this week, and here's why he thinks global brands could be in trouble.
As a foreign company, you can never own more than 50% of a car manufacturer in China. That's the rules. And China last December said, we're not going to change that rule. Thought about it, not going to change it. If you're an American or a German or a Japanese, what can you possibly take away from that message? I am a minority player here, subject to the whims of the government and my partner at any time. Maybe a license isn't approved, maybe a new product isn't approved. I'm here in a very vulnerable position. And as Chinese brands get stronger, and they're getting stronger, Chinese customers will start to move away from the global brands and say, hey, the Great Wall's not bad, the BYD will do for me. That's the risk.
Because it seems like up until now, there was kind of a mutually assured destruction sort of a deal. If they pulled the plug on the ventures, the technology, the know-how, the branding went out, walked, got on the boat along with all the rest of it.
And the profits.
And the profits.
Yeah.
But maybe not forever.
It's shifting. You can feel it when you're in China. That in particular, the SUV segment is a great illustration of that. Last year, for the first time, Chinese SUV brands outsold global brands. So you're seeing in the numbers that the Chinese brands are coming up. The consumers are moving and saying, the quality's okay, it's all right. And if you look at Japan, you look at Korea, it's hard to think China would do things differently, Doesn't mean I don't believe China will come out and say, all you foreign companies, go home. Mm-hmm. It'll be more a case of marginalizing their presence and as the Chinese brands rise.
For more of Michael Dunn's analysis of the Chinese auto industry, you can watch that entire discussion right now on our website, autoline.tv, or you can find it on our YouTube channel. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you right back here again on Monday.
Wards is the industry leader for news, data, and analysis. That's why companies across the globe subscribe to our premium service, maybe even your own. Log in for subscriber access now. Check your company's intranet for details and rely on wardsauto.com to keep you informed.